The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
What is up, everybody? It is kind of late night gaming, kind of
men's room
order discussion. With me, as always, is my buddy David, the author Applegate.
Welcome to the hybrid men's room special.
Right? Yeah. Joining us, the CollectorExpress.
Evening, everyone. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Now you talk about toys. We got all kinds of stuff going on, though.
Yeah, we ain't talking about toys tonight. Well, we might talk about some ARs, I guess.
Car toys, man toys.
Man, what's up with all the echoing?
I don't know. The song was echoing like crazy when it was playing.
That's weird. It didn't echo on my end. I did have notification that my Wi-Fi and stuff was like spurging out. So
You kind of freezing up a little bit right now.
Emma, that sucks. So yeah, dude.
I don't know how long I can stay on tonight. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go out of town. Going to a big toy convention.
There you go.
My sister and my brother-in-law's coming up to dog sit for me while my cousin's in the hospital.
So what all have you guys been following about this week? With all the information, the news, and everything that's coming out.
It's information overload.
It really is.
Yeah.
You've got two different protesters outside. You've actually got a mainstream media that is clearly wearing its politics on its sleeve rather than it doing their job.
Well, they need to prosecute the MSNBC for trying to out the jury members.
Now,
didn't they get
it's a contractor,
freelance?
Yeah.
Well, he was under orders from MSNBC.
Well, it's NBC in general, but MSNBC was just the thing.
That's just the badge he wears. He was directed by the producer who primarily contracts to MSNBC. They say that CNN is involved too, that they're putting pressure on these, well, what we used to call stringers. That is, we string you along as a journalist until we decide to catch you loose, which I think is going to happen any day now for this guy. They're going to turn around and say,
this is one of the cases where most clear cuts, it needs to be a mistrial prejudice because everything crooked's going on, jury tampering, intimidation, misconduct from the prosecutors,
mishandling evidence.
Very much so, mishandling evidence.
Oh yeah, there's been problems just with the judge and jury being threatened.
Yep. Then NBC edited the judge's statement saying, take guilt away from them. They edited the statement to be where just the public's threatening the judge and the prosecutor.
Getting to the crux of the problem.
See, I think what's going on, I think the judge is wanting the jury to make the decision, and I think the jury's wanting the judge to make the decision.
Well, they were talking about there's a rogue jury member right now that's very much a Karen.
Yeah.
And citing the one that's took control of the jury right now. I was listening to Viva, and it sounds like they're on the prosecutor side, the rogue jury.
Yeah, because what you have
the terminology that juror is using is the exact same wording the prosecution uses.
Yeah. What you have right now isn't a courthouse trial. It is an ideological battle.
Oh, yeah.
See, you have a judge who wants to preserve the system of juries, right? The judge wanted a jury. He didn't want a judge. He didn't want to be the one to decide. He wanted to prove the jury system works, right? Liberal jurism. But the prosecutors want summary judgments, right? They just want to make an argument, have the judge rule on it, move to the next part, move the state, color by numbers, basically, move the trial from 1 to 9, and then once it's filled in, they say guilty and move on. But outside, you have a different ideological battle, and that is the media / political mob. They want to decide the outcome of everything by popular vote. So you have this tussle. And the media is on the side of the mob because it gets the clickbait. It's called clickbait.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now, like in all over Twitter and stuff about what exactly like threats. Just always there's like just a never-ending flow of updates.
One thing they keep the three biggest lies about this trial. One, he crossed the state lines with a weapon. No, he didn't. The other one, crossing the state lines. How is him crossing the state line a crime? Most of the protesters weren't from Kenosha.
Well, Mr. Vaporized Bicep lives farther away than Kyle.
Yeah.
He lives almost 60 miles away, while Kyle's 21 miles away.
Yep.
Plus, most of Kyle's family is in Kenosha, and if it wasn't for the judge siding with his mother, he would have been living in Kenosha.
Well, plus two, you got issues with the prosecutor trying to get witnesses to change their statement.
Yeah, that's the last part.
They thought he was slow, but he's not. They thought they could just trick him. He does have a speech impediment, like a different speech pattern. Someone can actually confuse to be someone slow, and he's smarter than they are.
So armed demonstrators describe themselves as anti-Black Lives Matters out all across in front of Kenosha County Courthouse. And then somebody commented and said, "Dude's walking around with a bargain bin AR. Feds aren't even trying anymore." I was speaking to Lape earlier, and he's just under the impression they want to riot. That's all they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to use this right now as the current distraction of what's terrible going on right now.
We'll go after, yeah.
Babyface will go after jury if they vote guilty. Babyface rules Kenosha. Who's Babyface?
Are they talking about Babyface, the YouTuber, or are they talking about Kyle? Because his nickname is now Babyface.
I didn't know his nickname. That's
what I think. That's what Joy Reid said. A baby-faced. I can't repeat N-word. You know.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And all this, it's craziness. It just, I know it's, you're not supposed to look at their past, but all this to cause a pedophile and felons got two felons, one with a pedophile with mental issues, and another felon got shot. Two dead felons and a wounded felon.
Now, from the liberal perspective, they say the past doesn't matter because all lives matter, right? Oh, do they?
No, you can't say all lives matter. That's racist.
No, but that's what I'm telling you.
I'm
reporting what they said.
I'm playing along with you.
But on the other hand,
Come office is locking up. Really? For crack cow, why? I mean, I'm just why? Not for an argument's sake, but why lock him up? What did he do?
I understand from the liberal perspective, so much. They don't want the people shot to be judged by their criminality. But the thing is, they were armed.
He shot a pedophile trying to kill him.
Man, the amount of times you say pedophile, I'm never going to get monetized.
Oh, sorry.
You're not supposed to say the P word on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
At all. Yeah. You don't say it 8 times. I'll never get monetized.
Sorry.
It's okay, but that's that's a big no-no in YouTubeville.
Right.
What is jury instructions? And why are they so important?
Points of law.
Yeah, points of law of how they're supposed to judge the case on how they're supposed to take the evidence in and how they're supposed to proceed, what charges how they should proceed with the charges.
If you believe the following, then this is if you believe the following, and they basically list out the points of guilt and innocence. So if you come to a certain amount, so basically you tick the box and you say, oh yes, I believe this, I believe this, I believe this. And the problem is they're judging intentions. They're not, that's the problem. You've got two sides to this case. One where you've got the liberal belief where you can judge people's intentions by their actions, and the logical side or the right side who just wants it purely on the evidence.
When you go out of your way to protect a store and end up murdering a couple of people not near the place where you say you're gonna.
No,
I disagree.
It wasn't murder.
With a gun.
He was attacked first.
He was attacked first.
He was attacked first.
This if you've watched the raw footage.
Let's break it down. All right, so Kyle didn't really go out of his way. His dad lived in Kenosha. He spent most of his time in Kenosha. He worked in Kenosha. It was his community. So for him to be there, I mean, he had just about as any right as anybody else.
He lived 20 miles away. That's not.
I don't even think it was that. Hey, I've got it. I had it.
Well, I was saying it's 20 miles is not far at all.
All right,
I know his family is in Kenosha, but
what about his dad? He lived there.
Yeah.
With his dad.
What about the BLM protesters who came from Chicago? They committed crimes. Should they be now charged with rioting and looting? Why don't you apply that same logic, Crackcow? Why don't you go after the people who killed the, traveled to California every day to rob, exploiting Californian law? They're not trying to feed their family. They're just robbing people.
And
Gage Grosskreutz traveled 51 miles.
And he can, on the stand, he admitted he only got shot after he pointed his gun at Kyle's head.
Yeah, and if you don't think a skateboard's a deadly weapon, I dare you to go on. I dare you to get somebody to smack you around the head with one.
Gage is the one who had the actual 45 caliber pistol.
All right, so if you take someone out and go running down the street while everyone points at you saying "get him," you lose the luxury of claiming self-defense. Why? So, like, if I was to take somebody out and he's been on camera claiming that he was running towards police. He was going for
You can see the police lights in the camera.
Yeah.
So if he's heading into the police to say that he shot someone to go get help, and while they're yelling "get him," I mean, that's every bit of self-defense.
Let's see, a large mob versus one person.
They're definitely not going to take him out.
In every picture you see of Kyle, he's got trigger discipline.
Yeah, very good trigger discipline. Obviously,
the prosecutor.
The prosecutor had his finger on the trigger, pointing at the people in the courtroom.
More trigger discipline than Alec Baldwin, a supposed anti-gun activist who used live ammunition for entertainment, shooting bottles for entertainment.
One of these guys understand gun safety. The other is the prosecutor.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But no, like, let's see. When there's a crowd saying "get him," then they all think he was an active.
They do not think he's an active shooter.
No.
But listen, all right, hold on. Let's entertain the active pew pew. All right, so if he was an active pew pew, there would be multiple mags. There would be there'd have to be a lot more rounds than there. I mean, he brought one mag.
Plus, he would have been shooting as he was running. He
right.
wasn't.
He would be spraying too, and with multiple mags.
Dude, for 30 rounds, you could have taken a lot of people out with that.
He could have actually taken out the initial group, and nobody been none the wiser.
Right.
He didn't want to shoot nobody.
I mean, but it would have had to have been a one shot.
What people don't understand too.
1K.
When somebody puts hands on your weapon and try to take your weapon, that makes that person an armed assailant.
Plus,
but we're not video. We're just talking about the whole active.
Yeah.
Let's stay like in this group of discussion here.
Mm-hmm.
If someone was an active pew pew,
he would have been pew pewing a lot.
Yeah, there would have been a lot more than 8 spent casings on the ground.
Yep.
4 in one area and 4 in the other.
The mentality too for like most active shooters too, don't care if they live or die. Usually the end of the session usually ends up with one last shot against themselves.
And he wouldn't have been approaching the police at all, or if he did with his arms up, he would have been proudly boasting, not saying, "Hey, I need help."
I think he would have like pew pewed on the cops too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If that's the mentality that he had of being an active shooter,
9 out of 10 active shooters do.
They don't.
Those who hand themselves in which is extremely rare. Those who surrender extremely rare. They do it for the immediate news conference. You know, they start spewing their conspiracy theories. He didn't do. He didn't start shouting about the crowd burning down the city or what. He actually said, "I was shot." I'm being attacked. I shot somebody. He didn't say I killed somebody. He said I shot somebody.
Yeah.
Plus that's right. The ammunition load is too low for an active shooter.
And it shows a lot of restraint on him when the crowd that large saying crack a skull open, cranium, and chanting to kill. They were chanting to kill him, not get him. That takes a lot of strength not to just turn around when the entire mob is threatening to kill you, not to just turn around, like you said, just open up.
So you got to remember that 3/4 of the world are getting their news from one source.
Mm-hmm.
And that source is CNN and the rest of the mainstream and the rest of their allies.
The grabbing, kicking, chasing, even the jump kick failure. Well, jump kick failure, I don't think that's true. That dude made contact.
He made.
They're trying to find out who he is. They were trying to
identify him now. I think they identified Jump Kick Man.
But if there was a competent criminal there, Babyface would have been disarmed and bigger nightmare. Yeah, I mean they tried to take his gun multiple times.
Yeah.
If he hadn't had that sling, if he hadn't had the single point sling, they would have taken it.
Oh yeah.
Another thing people forget is that, and again, it's because they get the news from one source, and that is they watch the edited footage rather than the footage that showed where Kyle was shot at, where the so-called medic was leaning down, cocking his gun. That is not a competent criminal.
Well, and like the man admitted he was going to shoot him in the head.
Yeah, I pointed my pistol at him.
I mean, this is a quote from Gage Grosskreutz, and for some reason, when I pointed my pistol at him, he shot me.
Well, he's right about for some reason because let's
not only was he point his gun, he was advancing on him too. Advancing on him, he was reaching for Kyle's gun and pointing his gun at Kyle. And it was a 1 in a million shot. If Kyle didn't shoot him where he did, he would have shot Kyle.
Yeah.
See, the problem is that they're claiming for self-defense he needs to be shot at first. But we don't know that because we don't have the footage with the audio in high quality. The prosecutor has withheld that.
Yeah. Me watching y'all defend a child rapist because he was helping BLM burning down the city.
Exactly.
I would say the memes coming off of this has been great.
Was it 11 counts of child molestation?
Between
five convictions.
Yeah, they say he's a hero and a victim. Okay, name his victims. Well, why don't you know? Yeah, where's your outrage over child abuse?
He was let out of the mental facility the day of the riot and went straight to the riots.
And where did he get his gun from?
Well, wait. I think we're getting conflated here. Hold on.
No.
Now we're talking about
Rosenbaum.
Hold on.
Rosenbaum.
John Curtis said, in a video game, it's self-defense. In real life, the adult needs to try and disarm the short bus rider. Well, I mean, all the cops were told to stand down, so there's really no argument for adult needs to try and disarm the short bus rider. I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense.
You got to remember, the left was saying, leave it up to the police.
I think he's calling Kyle the short bus rider.
You can't change.
But it doesn't make any sense. Like
politics to suit the narrative.
Rosenbaum was the actual mentally insane person.
Yeah, Rosenbaum left the hospital, went to his girlfriend or fiance's house, was denied entry, so he went back to the riot.
Yeah.
Now, Gage Grosskreutz apparently was a pharmacist technician, and I don't.
Okay. The courts have actually stated Rosenbaum was armed.
Get away. Well, I mean, he did shoot somebody, but they did chase him down.
They were chasing him first.
I mean, that's the thing. Like watching, I've been trying the last. I missed part of the first week. I mean, I listened to like highlights and stuff the first week, but ever since this whole week, I have done nothing but listen to Court TV or the Ricada Law stream. All those streams freaking awesome, by the way.
Absolutely. Ricada is over 300K subscribers now.
Oh my dude. That's crazy because 2 days ago he was at like 260 something.
Well, when it started, he was still in the 100s.
Yeah.
There you go, John. There you go. There's your problem right from the start. Everybody says this. Everybody says that. Plato said, unless you get it from the horse's mouth, just take it with a grain of salt.
I agree. Well, see, I think everybody's saying so much different stuff right now. It's hard to tell. Well, I mean, unless you're paying attention to the courts.
Yep.
Unless you're paying attention to what's coming out of that court system, you're not going to see.
If you have not watched any of the court stream, you really don't know anything what's going on. The court stream has been very thorough.
Yeah, the prosecutor's main witness tell the defense that he was told by the prosecutor to change his argument to say that Rosenbaum wasn't armed when he was. It should have been over then. That's prosecutorial, what do they call it? Prosecutorial misconduct. That's witness tampering. Should have been over then.
Well, Rosenbaum wasn't armed at the time. He was trying to take Kyle's weapon.
Yes, he did.
The guy who was with Rosenbaum.
It was picked up. No, it fell when he was shot. When Rosenbaum
he was with someone else who was actually armed.
No, when Rosenbaum was shot, he dropped a 3-foot length of chain, which was picked up, and somebody ran off with it. But it's on the video.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Because there was a lot of people that say...
when you said armed, I was thinking about the guy who had the pistol who shot at Kyle.
No, that's the third guy. He's alive.
Yeah.
He had his arm shot.
Gage Grosskreutz.
No,
there were people saying that he did walk... That Rosenbaum had a chain, was saying that if he catches you alive, I will kill you. All this, that, and the other. So, like...
Yep. He's threatened to kill Kyle twice before.
In front of witnesses.
If you alone, I will kill you.
Yeah, in front of witnesses and was recorded by the media.
And the shoot me N-word, shoot me at a BLM rally.
Yeah, he actually taunted BLM to shoot him.
Junker, with all due respect to short bus riders.
Well, Rosenbaum is 4'11".
Dude, out of everything, Rosenbaum would be on the short bus for real. I mean, say what you will, but he would be on the short bus.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably was suffering little man syndrome. But
one of the funniest memes I've seen, somebody showed Ricada showed on the stream. It was like Rosenbaum's like a lineup photo, like a booking photo, and it's just the top of his head because he's so short.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But what's on trial is the trial system, and that's what people don't understand. The media are trying to destroy the trial system.
What I don't understand is how there still isn't a mistrial with prejudice.
Yeah.
For mishandling evidence,
it's the
jury intimidation, internally and externally.
When he went against the...
Hey man, what kind of coffee you drinking? Is it good?
When the prosecutor started to discuss stuff the judge told him he couldn't allow, and the judge threw the jury out and started cussing him, he went against Kyle's Fifth Amendment rights and on the order of not to discuss topics that was already ruled out. That's when the defense should have stood up and asked for mistrial.
Actually, I think there's been 2 requests for mistrial so far.
Yeah, I think they did later when it was pointed out that it was actually grounds for a mistrial, but I think originally they just objected. The judge interjected straight away also, cutting them off.
Yeah.
I think the judge is trying to I think the judge knows what's going on from the start and wants... Because I think Kenosha, the biggest question is, why did Kenosha burn?
Because they
wanted. Why did they let Kenosha burn? Why did they want Kenosha to burn? Because
I know the reason. I just don't want to say.
Yeah, but see, Kenosha is the sacrificial lamb. The elites on the coast look down on cities like Kenosha, and if Kenosha burnt down and everybody moved out, I mean, everybody of a pale complexion moved out, it would have done served the Democrats' narrative. But because nobody's following what the Democrats want, the media is getting desperate and desperate.
Who is Jack Pacific?
He's a media reporter.
He's a junior Alex Jones type.
Gotcha. I've been seeing a lot of his stuff pop up.
Provo Sack or something like that. I think
he actually cut his chops on Pizzagate.
Ah.
And actually claims to have White House sources. So,
like now White House sources or Trump White House sources?
Current insiders.
Oh. What do you guys think about? All right. Well, let me back that up. I saw Steven Crowder put out a thing on Facebook and it said, "What have we missed while paying attention to Kenosha?"
That's another thing.
Yep.
Joe, Poopy Pants Joe.
Fake French accent. Speaking like
41% price
like
hike in fuel. Mandating electric trucks in California, even when electric trucks aren't even a real thing yet.
That was funny. What's funny, like when she was actually trying to talk with a French accent, she was talking like really slow and like a child too, like like she's talking to somebody slow.
Did you see?
It reminded me like when I worked retail.
Yeah,
I was working. I was a sales manager at an auto parts store. I was counting the drawer down, and I start hearing one of the guys up front yelling, talking to, not in a mean way, but just yelling and screaming real loud. Like, what the hell's going on? 2 deaf women came in. He thought if he yelled loud enough, they could hear him.
Oh my God!
I told him just go do something else, and I got a notepad out, and I actually wrote down, "How may I help you?" And they were so grateful I came out and started to help them out.
Yeah. Oh my God! But
no matter how loud you want to get, they're deaf.
Yes, John, you're right. If they can do it to Kenosha, they can do it to any part of Middle America, and that was the point they were trying to make. That they could destroy anything at any time that you love. Political power. That's what Kenosha is all about. Destroy something that the majority of Americans won't miss, so you won't rise up fearing that they'll do it to you.
Well, I was listening to Steven Crowder, and I think 2 days ago, he made the comment of, realistically, this trial is going after is the basic right of self-defense is on trial.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, not necessarily the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing is not necessarily the most important part. The most important part is going to be your freedom of self-defense, your ability of self-defense, not necessarily freedom, but your ability to self-defense is pretty much on trial. However this goes,
it also they want you to be reliant on the state for your own protection, eliminate yourself. Everybody's like, why don't you just go to the police or get the police to do this? And then even like during the prosecution, they made that kind of point. Why are you doing this? We have professionals that do this, do firefighters, do police work.
But then they don't turn around and ask the mob who were chasing Kyle, saying, well, he's an active shooter, we've got to disarm him. Why aren't you saying that to them? Why aren't they following their narrative and say to the mob the very same thing? Why didn't you leave it to the police?
Well, they want you to be reliant on the government for your protection instead of you protecting yourself, but yet they tell the police not to interfere when they're burning a city down.
And then don't tell the mob to leave it to the police. No, community policing is a joke.
Well, then you had that one officer that the first officer that Kyle tried to turn himself into sprayed him with mace.
And people obviously don't know their history. The reason why we have professional police and a professional court system is because community policing failed, and the community used to regularly hang the disabled and people of color as the scapegoat for any crime. They just grabbed the first, somebody got raped, they grabbed the first person, the first single male they could find on the street and hang them and say, look, justice done.
Yep.
Well, like that boxer, the Hurricane.
They blamed that on the police, but it wasn't the police. It was the witnesses who all said he did it. But then the witness died. And that's the only reason why he's out. It's because the witness died. If the witness hadn't died, it wouldn't have gone back to trial to find out why he said what he said.
Can you legally enter into a binding contract to protect city buildings? Well, I don't know that there was a binding contract. I'm pretty sure it was just a asked.
Well, for, the owners of the business already purchased themselves anyway, so they're.
And it wasn't city buildings; it was just a private business.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say city, I'm assuming reference to government-owned buildings, city buildings. But I mean, it could just be meaning like a city is in like just a regular building. I'm not sure what you're referring to. While being heavily armed, I don't think that's heavily armed.
A 30-round magazine, then that's all you have. That is not.
Dude, 30 rounds is gone in like 2 minutes.
Well, the entire ludicrousy too of the prosecution tried to make with Gage is Kyle had a rifle and Gage had a pistol. Just because Kyle's rifle's bigger, he has the advantage. In a close quarter situation like that, the pistol has the advantage 100 foot over.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when your butt is on the ground.
Yeah.
If you're holding the rifle and your butt's on the ground, you are severely at the disadvantage.
Yep. The whole under 18 thing, that was already thrown out because apparently you can have a rifle under 18. I think it's 16 and up.
Yeah.
There's two conditions for under 18.
You can be sworn in as part of a militia at 17 too.
Yeah, I didn't know
that's
that.
Another thing. That's why they bring up the militia thing, because Wisconsin doesn't have a very good defining of a militia.
I think Rakita said you can be between 16 and up. You can be part of the militia, but Kyle was 17 at the time.
Plus, he had a long arm, not a short arm. If he had a pistol, he would be charged with possession of a dangerous weapon.
I'm not a pew pew enthusiast, but I thought, hey, it's cool, man. No, it's not auto. It's semi-auto.
Yeah,
I've got one right behind me. So
yeah, it's a semi-automatic pistol.
Yeah, it fires as quick as you can pull the trigger. So,
which is actually not as fast as most people think.
No, dude, stock triggers. It sounds to me like the gun was a stock. Pretty much.
No, they're claiming illegal modification of the trigger.
That's bull, dude.
Oh, there is. Well, unless you illegally modify it, make it fully auto, there's no illegal modifications to the trigger. They can claim that it's people that don't know what they're talking about.
That itself is the rifle. I'm pretty sure it's an Smith & Wesson. I think that looks like the M&P logo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't.
And it looks like a black trigger too, so that's a stock trigger.
It's got to be.
That's what I thought.
I mean, I can't. Truth be,
That's what I thought too. I thought that the illegal modification was thrown out, but it hasn't been, which is weird because it hasn't been ruled on either. And nor is there any information on what exactly the illegal modification was claimed. But again, this is mainstream media claiming that illegal modifications.
Well, mainstream media will call a semi-automatic
machine gun,
a fully semi-automatic weapon. When
or
a
machine
fully
gun.
Semi-automatic, they try to make you think it's a full.
Like looking at that, man. That is just. I mean, that's just basic with all the basic furniture.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
He's holding a gun like somebody who's never held a gun before. Because see where the corner of the butt is, that would tear out his upper arm.
I mean, he could shoot it. Truth be told, those guns don't really kick a whole lot.
No, they don't.
There's not much power behind it.
The round is almost like a like a super.
No, they're claiming he had Full Metal Jackets.
Well,
Full Metal Jackets is
small
nothing.
caliber. It's
Full Metal Jackets is basic target round. Like that's what you would use to go to the let's see, to the range. Do you remember the Mandalay Bay? Yes. They were kind of like that. They used what was called a bump stock, which was like a spring-loaded stock. And what it did was it used the force of the gun to bounce against your shoulder and caused your trigger to like, I don't know. I've never understood the necessity of a bump stock. I thought they were stupid. When they come out and said that they were banned, I was like, cool. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah. Makes your weapon.
But don't forget, Mandalay.
Bump stock trigger makes your weapon so inaccurate.
Right. Yeah. There's no way to get accurate shots with bump stocks. It's not. Hey, Digital Pollution, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Digital, how's it going?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure if the rifle was the same or not. I imagine if it was just your base AR-15, then sure. However, there's still a lot of
Las Vegas one though. There's a lot of questions on that one.
Because there are over 14 different rifles.
When that whole thing happened, what happened right before that?
I don't know, but hey, there's still a lot of discussion though, where people were saying that there were people in the crowd shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people were shot at a low angle, and some people were shot from multiple angles, which indicate multiple shooters.
Well, right before that happened too, that's when we found out too all those when they tried to do the Fast and the Furious thing and they lost all those weapons.
That's what they're saying.
And those were full auto.
Yeah, that's right.
They were all modified.
That's right. I forgot about that.
As soon as that happened, I was like, where it was location, I was like, yeah, but that's one of those weapons that got missing.
Because remember, Stephen Paddock was accused of being a pilot who flew into Mexico regularly, who somehow in a very short period of time fired more than 1,000 bullets.
I don't know of a gun short of like a chain gun that could shoot that fast. That amount of time, that quick.
Somebody had to be passing him the guns because he strapped himself in and hung out the side of a building.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he had to pull himself in, grab another gun, pull himself out, shoot 30 bullets in like 30 seconds and pull himself back in. And to do 1,000 rounds back and forth like that.
Well, with what's going on now, it don't put me past.
No. Man, let's see. The pew pew used in Kenosha had a clip, therefore it could be made into an auto. No, that's not true. Don't laugh, man. Hey, I understand there's people that don't know a lot about firearms. Yeah, that's cool, man.
And I learned recently, you don't call it a clip.
Yeah, it's a magazine. It's not a clip. Clips are a different type of
pistol,
what you would use to hold ammunition.
No, you
have a thing called a pistol clip.
Yeah, let's see, clip versus magazine. Here is a typical picture. I hope you can see that.
Yeah.
All right, see, a magazine you load ammunition into. A clip uses the ridge on the magazine to hold itself in place.
Most common gun with a clip used to be military rifles like the M1 Grand. You know, they was then they were.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Anytime anybody uses the word clip for magazine,
I know. Well, it's easy. Like I wouldn't say that I'm a gun enthusiast. I know some things.
I'm very much not a gun enthusiast, but
I know a few things, and it's just it's like a chuckle. You know, it's a chuckle thing. You just chuckle when somebody, uses terminology. But a magazine is spring loaded. Very lightly spring loaded. Hold that thought. I'm gonna reach down and grab a mag for you.
Yeah, the only thing that the mag does is just push keeps the rounds to the top of the magazine. They'll be fed in.
It puts
It has nothing to do with the firing mechanism.
Yeah, the pressure of a spring load you can actually resist with you push against it with your finger. It's not that strong.
Spring loaded. It's all the spring is for.
To
Stick up into the gun.
So
there is a spring in the bottom. The spring just pushes the ammunition to the top so that it's slow. It slides. It rolls.
Stop the
isn't that all there's required? No.
Actually, full auto is usually belt fed.
Well, belt fed like machine guns, like the Modus.
Yeah, belt fed. Yeah. Well, see, a belt fed would pull itself into the gun using the belt, keeping the casings in line.
The magazine itself has nothing to do with the firing mechanism.
Yeah.
Also, in a full loaded spring doesn't matter because the reloading itself is from the backfire. They have on a full auto weapon. You have the gas recock the weapon. So the spring is
the only way to.
It's not. Yeah.
The only way people can legally have possession of a fully auto firearm, you can have a special license to have permissions, and they're hard to get.
Or they bought the weapon before 1969, when the ban came into effect.
Belt fed doesn't force the ammo. Yeah. They like a fully automatic machine gun that's belt fed would use the firing mechanism would pull the belt of ammunition through the gun. The spring, if you were to have like a fully automatic AR, I don't necessarily know that the spring would be stiff enough to push the ammunition into the gun
at
the right amount of pressure to force it up in the speed it would take to shoot the gun, if that makes sense.
You'd probably have to have a specialized magazine for that.
Probably.
Yeah, and most of those jam. They're usually
round. Yeah. You'd have massive jamming issues because the magazine lets the individual bullet go into the barrel.
That's why the U.S. Army actually stopped using them.
Huh?
That's why the Army stopped using them, because they jam in the barrel.
What?
Full autos.
I don't know if they've ever used full autos for like a traditional carry. Yeah. Most of the time it's semi-auto or 3-round burst, which I don't like 3-round burst.
Yeah, they used I forget the name of the rifle, but it was a modified grenade, and it jammed constantly. 44, I think.
Let's see. They used to harp about filing down a pin. Your firing pin can be adjusted and converted, but I don't think
you have to do some machining to modify an AR.
Right. I don't think your average Joe. I know a few people that could probably do it, but I don't think it's something that they like practice.
The point of filing down the pin is to shorten the when it goes back, which means you have to lengthen the spring of your the return spring. There's not filing down the pin would do nothing if you haven't got a longer return. If you haven't adjusted the return spring, because to achieve a high rate of fire, you need your firing pin to travel the shortest distance back. And
they always want to attack the AR-15 on different stuff, but really a semi-automatic shotgun with large capacity would do a lot more damage than AR.
The AR is very small.
Yeah.
Very small.
I always call it like a glorified 22.
Realistically, yeah.
It's designed as a
very similar it's very similar in thickness to a 22 shell.
It's just got more powder where it's
a lot more.
Now, isn't it a heavy? It's also heavier than a 22, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't say violent. I mean, it's just the explosion of gunpowder pushed out of the casing.
It's actually what helps with the ejection part of when you fire a semi-automatic rifle. If you don't have if you use like cheap ammo, a lot of times they don't have enough pushback to eject the cartridge properly, and you'll get a jam.
Yeah, if you look at the 80s and the Uzi, for instance, how many of that if they didn't jam all the time, they'd still be around. What's the biggest thing about any automatic weapon? Was jamming.
I'm not exactly sure what this video is going to show me. I just typed it in. I'm looking for a diagram of how this is going to work. So you flip on the fire and safe. Okay, there you go. Magazine catch. Magazine notch. All right, that's what holds your magazine in place. That's your charging handle. All right.
That puts the
cock's hammer. The buffer spring. Okay. On the forward stroke, the bullet strikes cartridge. So that's what puts it in. All right. Pulling the trigger fires one shot. Here are the first two shots. Pow. Pow. Hey, there he is. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hey, Tommy.
What are you doing, buddy?
I'm still waiting, but I figure I'll jump on real quick because I don't think y'all mentioned the whole prosecutor pointing an AR-15 at everybody.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we already did.
Okay.
When we were talking about mistrial right at the start.
Yeah.
Did y'all know if you search up the image on Google photoshopped where his finger wasn't on it?
No way.
They just took the finger totally off.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, let's see the bolt move. All right, so see, all right. We're talking about the gases. The gases are what pushes the fire mechanism back.
That's that top,
and then
that's
escapes
the top
out
near
the
mouth.
tube.
Yeah.
We're talking about how an AR works.
Yeah.
How a semi-automatic works in general.
Yeah. Well, an AR is different. Armalite rifle. AR stands for Armalite rifle.
Which was actually a reference to the weight.
Right. Well, no, it's how it works is through gases.
Yeah.
I like how they tried to say the Full Metal Jacket tried to make the bullet sound scary, which is one of the cheaper bullets for that gun.
Target, right?
Which I just found out early.
I'm telling you, if they had used hollow points, they would have crucified him for wanting to do more damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Which they could have legally done. Yeah.
It's a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fact, like, the hollow point's designed to just destroy everything inside the body.
When they hit, they expand and mushroom out and just do so much more damage and create a larger wound cavity.
Yeah. They're
trying to make like a target round sound more violent than a.
Yeah, the Full Metal Jacket's your basic target, like throwaway ammo. It's not that good.
I get why they used Full Metal Jacket, because it's the name of a violent movie and the violent imagery from that movie.
Watch that vid link. What vid link?
Oh, YouTube. He's probably put a link into the chat, but YouTube takes them out.
Yeah, I can't. Drop it on Facebook, and I'll try to find it there.
Facebook or Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. I don't think we're on Instagram. But,
yeah, I can't believe they were trying to make out.
By the way,
never
the sixth
taken
court.
firearm safety classes.
We were talking about bump
But this
stocks
animation
before.
looks like a strong spring would be important to feed the ammo into a chamber. Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait, shoot. Hold up. There was just something about the spring. See, like, that's the type of springing.
Yeah, it's make sure there's a round at the top so the gun can pick up the bullet to load into the chamber.
Yeah. That's literally, well, I mean, there's a spring, the buffer spring.
Yeah.
The 530 or 29.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
The AR is just scary. That's all
are legal. The Sixth Circuit Courts of Appeal, March 25th of this year, reversed the ban on bump stocks, saying they do not make a gun automatic. They only enhance the they're still semi-automatic.
Put a fan page. All right, I'll go there and look. Hang on just a second, Crack Cow. I'm going. That spring right there is the spring that's inside your magazine, and it's a very, I wouldn't say a weak spring, but it's definitely not something that would change the firing rate. Let's see. Oh wait, you know what? I didn't do that right. Hold on, let me get back here.
Okay. We talked about Vegas before. There were 24 firearms. There were 100-round magazines. 14 were 223s. 3 were Colts, etc., etc. There were 308s. A couple of bolt actions. Most of the AR-15s had been modified. And he had over 1,000 rounds of ammunition all loaded into various magazines. Still.
Oh, one thing people need to realize too, like some of the pictures of Kyle holding an AR-15 before all this happened, it's not the same weapon. But he has his personal AR at home.
Yeah, bump stocks have been made legal again as of the 25th of March.
All right, let's see. John said that doesn't make sense, David, because a bump stock needs to have a trigger pulled constantly. I'm trying to figure out. I don't necessarily how they work.
Just think of a bump stock like a pogo stick. It's bouncing against your shoulder, and it's when it bounces, it keeps, and the recoil, it's bouncing against your finger.
Yeah, it's an assist.
And so it makes the weapon very inaccurate.
Still, but more people have been killed by a hammer than an AR-15.
Alec Baldwin's killed more than people with a gun than I have.
More than ban assault actors.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. So by it bouncing forward, it bounces the trigger.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like I said, like a pogo stick. It's
if you don't think a skateboard is dangerous, ask but the FBI says more people are killed by hammers and clubs and rifles.
Pick out the go back to where you on the videos.
Yeah.
When you recommend videos.
Yeah.
Jerry versus the bump stock.
Gotcha.
McClintock. No, it's not there now. Down in your recommended videos, you had Jerry McClintock versus a bump stock.
Isn't this it? Jerry rigs everything?
What is a bump? No, that's not it. There it is. Jerry versus bump stock. He hates bump stocks. and he's faster than anybody trying to use a bump stock.
I think bump stocks are stupid.
Yeah. When they were trying to make a point to like saying like how horrible like full auto weapons are, they used one of his videos trying to like show like how fast a full auto weapon is. He's firing a semi-automatic pistol rifle. He's just pulling the trigger that fast.
And there you go.
He's like one of the fastest shooters alive.
See where his shoulder's at compared to the prosecutor? That's why I said still get his arm, the top of his arm hurt.
That's a bump stock there.
Yeah, that's definitely not fully automatic.
And half the time he's got to pull it himself.
Because the AR doesn't really put off enough kickback. Tommy, you shot mine.
I can see there that he's half the time he's pulling it. Pulling it.
Most of all the stuff people are against the AR-15 because they
get it from the media.
The AR stands for assault rifle.
That's what I said. They get it from the media. They get their fear from the media. If you turn off the TV for most of your life, you will live a happier life. That is actually proven.
An AK-47. An AK-47 is a much more violent weapon.
It's been proven that people with psychological disorders also have watched more TV than the average viewer. So if you watch more than...
Here he goes.
Yes, I've heard the audio from the Vegas incident, and they tried to claim that the distant shots were only echoes, and then later admitted that somebody had fired on the gas tanks at the oil, which were full of oil, not petrol or aviation.
Hey, David,
gas.
check this out. I want to hear this.
That's
that's him shooting. So
they try to use him shooting a semi-automatic rifle and saying see how violent full auto weapons are. It's him pulling the trigger each time.
Yeah.
Empty a 30-round mag.
But now, see, all right. Did he have? He's probably got a lighter trigger.
I'm sure he's got a custom built AR.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, he said it's one of his competition rifles. So, like, I don't know. The bump stock sucks. Did you hear the audio in the Vegas incident? Yes, I did. It sounds a lot. There's a lot of ammunition flying through the air.
Yes.
That Vegas incident, man, I'm just not believing it. I mean, not that I'm not saying it didn't happen.
It's like I said, when all those weapons right before that got missing, I don't know what weapons were used in Vegas.
24 weapons who can't be traced. How fast and furious of him.
Yeah.
His shooting was very fast and furious.
Try to do something they saw in the movies and they fail.
There was a lot of debate about what happened. Nobody really knows what happened. But man, for one person to use a bump stock to cause that much havoc, I'm just not buying it.
Hey, all I got to say, it was a mostly peaceful AR-15.
Mostly peaceful.
I don't think so.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, it only shot 8 rounds, so.
Yeah.
Mostly peaceful.
It was mostly peaceful. Because that's what they say about the protests.
Yeah, I mean,
mostly peaceful.
It's just a lot. It's a lot of ammunition.
The thing what people don't realize, too, it's that kid's mentally scarred the rest of his life. He didn't want to do that.
No. People were saying about his acting and about him like breaking down. I mean, that was very much like a PTSD moment.
Oh, absolutely.
And isn't it amazing? The
same people that attacked him ran to the defense of Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, And
they instantly started calling it a prop gun when prop guns are fake.
Yeah, I definitely agree, John.
Alex Baldwin, the scene did not call for a gun, did not call for the gun to be aimed at the director.
And if that thing that you posted earlier ends up being true, that's even worse.
Yeah, that they had an argument earlier.
The thing about the Russian roulette thing.
Well, yeah, they're saying that Alex Baldwin took part in.
Yeah.
It was in the men's room. That's where I saw it.
That's right. I saw that.
If that's true, if he knew that it was a live bullet and he spun the chamber and pointed at it and shoot, well, that's deliberate.
All right, I got to jump off of here. If y'all are still on when I get home, I'll jump back on.
All right, we probably will. Where are you leaving now?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Well, what did we don't know? We don't.
I found it, but I didn't know. Hang on, I want to see.
Yeah, I want to validate the video first.
All right. Did you find it? Action. Nope.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll play it. I wanted to take a second. It's 38 seconds long. Full screen. Stop it. It's a Ricada.
Okay.
That's it. Directed verdict. Directed verdict on all the murder charges.
Play it from again. Again. The questioning.
Wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced at him, your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, and you fired, right? Correct. Oh, shit! That's it! Directed verdict. Directed verdict on all the murder charges.
Jeez.
That's where the face palm comes from.
Yeah. I don't think the crowd tried to disarm him. No, I mean, I don't think that there's a correct way. You don't disarm people. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well,
first off, if I say CollectorExpress, if I catch you alone, I'm gonna kill you. All right.
Yeah.
You don't be alone with me. All right. I mean, it's that simple. You don't be alone, because that's stupid. If I say, if I chase after you, after have saying that, if I find you out and I chase after you, and you pull a weapon to deter me from chasing you, and I don't stop chasing you, I'm going to get put down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that. I mean,
if a stranger comes up to me yelling and screaming, saying, I'm going to kill you if I get you alone, in a hostile situation, I'm going to remember that person.
Moments. We're not talking about duration of the night. This whole
I'm talking about in theory, like if somebody threatened me.
This happened between 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
This all happened between that time period. So in a 2-minute time span, this dude went from I'm gonna kill you if I find you alone to being dead on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes. Now I'm not saying it could have been handled differently. It probably could have been handled differently.
But people are imperfect.
man, like, are you really gonna call somebody's bluff? I mean, is this riot that important to you? It's not. It's not that. First off, it's not that important to me. I don't benefit from
I
a
have
riot. You know,
it's different if it's your home.
right? It would be
That was
definitely different.
Kyle's family's home. He had family there. He was a local resident. So if you had family there, he lives within 20 miles of it. That's you're local to the area. You can be. It's like take Virginia and Tennessee and Bristol. Now, Virginia and Tennessee, Bristol is in 2 states.
Yeah.
You have just because I live in Bristol, Virginia, don't mean I'm not a resident of Bristol, Tennessee. I live in I still live in Bristol.
Well, yeah. See, Bristol has a brick line down the middle of the road.
Oh yeah,
and that separates Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia.
That's State Street. They got little plaques right down the middle of the road.
Yeah, it's
one
cool.
Side of the plaque says Virginia, one side says Tennessee.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although, if I was to be going to an incident over there and had to shoot somebody, they would be like, "Oh, he come across state lines." And funny thing, now you're starting to get liberals interested in state lines and borders.
Again, they don't have a policy or a political belief. Their only belief is to argue against whoever they don't like. Right. Whatever gives them power. That's the argument. That's the only thing they want.
There's
no debate.
Well, I live like 20 minutes from you, Appalachian.
Yeah.
And I consider we living in the same area.
True. It's the same valley.
Yeah. Actually, I probably live farther than 21 miles. But mileage wise, I'm farther than 21 miles.
I don't think so. I think it's 15 from the Google map.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
It's like 15.
But it's all in the same area.
Right.
The thing that people don't understand is liberalism isn't a political belief. It's a moral philosophy.
If you expand it down in the Bristol area, you got Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport. They call it the Tri-Cities. Everybody considers that one place.
Yep. I'm getting
and no, we don't live there. I used to.
Some dude shot me. But I don't know, man.
Yeah. No,
I think everybody's just too afraid to call balls and strikes right now.
Well, you already got jury intimidation going on, and the media's participating in it.
Yeah, big time.
They're
threatening. Well, they did like some. That one attorney did some work for the defense, and they polled a lot of people in Kenosha. 80% of the people didn't want to be on the jury because they were afraid of repercussions that live in Kenosha.
Yeah.
When you have 80% of the residents of a town worried about repercussions, how fair of a trial are you going to get?
Well, when you have the problem is the liberal movement has painted themselves into a corner with CRT and have basically allowed the activist class to do as they please. They can't go against the activists anymore. They say anything against the activists, they get accused of the R word, and the party has to kick them out, regardless if it's true or not.
Well, most people didn't even realize for the longest time that Kyle shot 3 white guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's and there's still people on TikTok going on about him shooting black men or carrying the gun across the state border. That's how ignorant some people are. That they want narrative.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think I agree with that. Had Kyle been stayed with his group or whatever, he probably would have. None of this probably would have happened. The veteran Marine said to the jury that his job was to watch Babyface. Yeah. Was it to watch?
Situation.
Watch over, yeah.
What he means is watch his back.
Okay. That makes sense.
In any kind of situation like that, you don't go in. Well, you shouldn't be going in alone anyway.
No.
You always should be in pairs. You should have had Grambo with him.
Which Grambo?
One of the witnesses, the old woman that was with Kyle.
Oh no, I don't know.
They dubbed her Grambo.
Oh, like Grandma?
Yeah.
Rambo?
Yep.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
She just absolutely destroyed the prosecution when they tried to trip her up, and she just tore in, just made them look like fools.
Come on, that's not. They are fools.
I just don't think they've. Well, the prosecution just made it flat out. This is a political trial. When you had a presidential candidate at the time call Kyle a white supremacist and condemn him in a debate,
That's what I said. They
had to prosecute him, no matter what the evidence showed them.
That's what I just said. They can't go against the activist class. They have to do as they please or get accused of being a racist. They've painted themselves into a corner, and the only way out is going to be a great undoing of the American Union. That's their hope, to destroy American unity, that everybody would just tear up the United States and give liberals their little utopia of a one-party state where they rule as they please.
Yeah.
Well, every news media now calls anyone that goes against the Democrats an extremist and dangerous.
You're a WAP.
Well, they were calling the new lieutenant governor of Virginia a white supremacist.
Yeah, he's the black face of white supremacy or something.
No, she was born and raised in Jamaica, a naturalized citizen, serving in the military, the first woman lieutenant governor, and immigrant, naturalized citizen. True American dream story. But first black woman to become lieutenant governor, first woman to become a lieutenant governor. But somehow she's a white supremacist.
Because she's self-loathing. She's voting against her interests. Now, what's her interest? See, funny how they always give a motive and then never specifics. What are her interests? What do you mean her interests? Do you mean a black ethnic state? Instead of a multicultural society? Are you saying multiculturalism is a failure? Please do tell us specifics. Stop talking in vague fuckeries.
Yeah. Yet the current governor that's going now in office is the one who actually dressed up as the KKK.
Is he?
Northam.
Everybody was wondering if he was blackface or KKK.
But he was either blackface or the KKK member.
And I think the one in the hood was McAuliffe. I think it was.
Not
I think
McAuliffe.
It was blackface, and it was McAuliffe in the hood.
You're thinking Northam?
No, I think Northam was blackface.
But that wasn't McAuliffe.
No, McAuliffe was in the hood.
no, McAuliffe wasn't there.
No,
I'm saying when it comes to which was which, I think
Oh, you think McAuliffe would have dressed up as real? Would
be foot? Yeah. If it came down to who would you think did what, Yeah,
well,
I think MacArthur's
you weren't allowed into the Democratic Party unless you were a member of the KKK.
that was under the fascist dictator Roosevelt. I mean, your precious heroes. Yeah,
that's done. It's not even that long ago when that was the standard for to be part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, 1924, Woodrow Wilson rallied the KKK.
It was still true in the 70s.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in
early 80s, they were still members. Had to be members to be part of like the Democrat regime.
Yeah, but when the president holds the rally, and then it doesn't go down in history as the world's and they blame Herbert Hoover for the depression.
The black kid shot in the back. John? What are you talking about? Biden didn't like seeing the black kid shot in the back.
When? Who?
Less lethal techniques could have been used. What black kid?
What black kid?
I think you're talking about the justified shooting that started the entire riot. The guy who was.
You mean the person who? You mean the person who was reaching for a knife and resisting arrest? Less lethal methods?
And was breaking a restraining order.
You mean?
Jacob Blake.
Yeah, that's it.
Scumbag.
Now, here's the thing. Jacob Blake was trying to abduct his own children from a lady that had a protective order. Emergency order or something, emergency custody order.
And it was actually hit on the side. They can't tell if it was hit on the side or the back first.
Right, but see in the video, he's put the kids in the van, and then he's going around and defying the police officer because there's a big knife that's in the floorboard of the van.
Well, the thing too is Biden didn't actually care about that.
He
really didn't.
Very racist. He argued for segregation.
What do you mean the least? What do you mean least lethal weapons? We all stand around and talk him into surrendering.
Shooting in the leg don't really work like they do in the movies. There's femoral arteries in your leg that you can bleed out very easily.
And you die very easily.
And in the time it takes for you to decide,
humans are quite fragile.
Yeah,
bullets are much more damaging than they are in the movies.
Yeah.
It always gets on my nerves when you watch an action movie. You see the protagonist. Jason Statham movies are really bad for this. Get shot all to pieces, and within a couple of months, less than a month, he's out hunting the bad guys.
See, I think society has heard this.
You're on a long road recovery with massive amounts of physical therapy, PT, before you're going to go try to chase down anybody.
Yeah, but for far too long, society's been spoon-fed this narrative by lawyers. Police could have done better. Police could have done better. But the thing is, they're only human. And they've been defied by another human. What are they supposed to do? Travel around in big packs and just gang bash somebody into submission because they refuse? Why are you constantly defying police? Why are you resisting police? And it's the narrative created by lawyers of resisting police so that they could charge the police for using excessive force and win cases. See, lawyers can't win cases if society turns around and says he was resisting arrest. Fuck him.
There's. Did anybody see the BWC of the incident?
Body cam? BWC.
The body cam footage? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, didn't anyone see the BWC of the incident?
Yes, body cam incident.
Oh.
BWC, Bureau of Workers' Compensation?
Of the Jacob Blake situation?
Yeah, wasn't that? Didn't they selectively edit that? Didn't they leave the initial start out? And they also left out the audio.
Oh yeah, I think that was one of the ones they edited.
Yeah, they got caught editing. The same with St. George of fentanyl. They edited that out too. The fact that he took 3 fentanyls.
I'm sorry, man. We might be misunderstanding. What is BWC? I saw footage, but it wasn't BWC. What is am I missing something? I typed in Jacob Blake BWC.
What is your acronym? What's the letters for your acronym?
Yeah, I'm not sure what BWC means. Because I typed in YouTube Jacob Blake BWC just to see if maybe that would tell me. Body worn. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Body cam. Let's see, body cam. DOJ releases Jacob Blake shooting show various perspectives.
Because he was hit in the side and then fell on the knife. And
all right, I recognize you guys probably can't see this, but I have a pretty big monitor, and I'm looking at. So like he's going around the edge of the van, and he reaches in. Let's see. This might be. I thought it was a van. It's not a van. It's a like SUV. A mid-size SUV.
Yeah. Yeah, the newer style Durango or
Avenger.
See, in that short period of time when he's reaching for the knife. See, because some people are so judgmental that as soon as they see a black man shot, they always assume the police are in the wrong. Why? Because that's what they're always told.
Actually, not all police officers carry body cams.
Yeah, I'm going to fast forward through here. I just don't want to. I don't want something to pop up.
John Curtis has said there should be a couple body cam footage. There's two squad cars. There's possibly they are two, but if there's more than one officer in the car, that's probably just one body cam.
Jacob Blake admits he had a knife at the time he was shot. That was on the Wednesday in the interview. He was shot on the 3rd of, so it was about 6 days after the shooting. He admitted he had a knife.
Well, you have someone acting irrational that has a protective order against them, not responding to.
And it's here.
And with a weapon in hand and going back to his vehicle with. So it
was actually. Here you go. I'll give you the link.
I wouldn't want to be in the position that they had to make that decision.
No. Okay. He had a man with a cell phone video captured the 22-year-old with a knife as he ran from the police. He had pulled the knife known as a talon from under his belt. It was captured on camera. When he ran around the car, he had pulled a knife. It was a concealed weapon.
Yeah, I found a raw uncut video.
And the raw image and during the hearing into the shooting, 3 officers all yelled, drop the knife, and he ran around the car and and he may have been going for the kids. That's what, but he doesn't remember what he was doing. He said he was out of his mind. He just wanted to kill somebody. Again, this is why.
Did he die?
This is why.
That?
Blake, no, he's paralyzed. Partially
Okay,
paralyzed.
because there's a
settlement.
There's several different things. Jacob Blake speaks out for the first time since near fatal shooting in an interview.
Yeah, near fatal.
And I was like, wait a minute, I thought he died.
No.
The one there was a shooting afterwards too. When that girl tried to stab the other girl, and the cops shot the girl that's getting stabbed the other girl.
Yeah,
that was a similar situation when everybody started attacking the cop for saving the other girl's life.
The shots. That's the thing. The police, all these.
No matter what they do, they're the bad guy.
Exactly. That's why I don't pity the fool.
Misinformation went out. Said the one who got shot said they're the ones who called the cops. Said no, it was the one who was about to get stabbed was the one who called the cops.
Apparently, Wisconsin never. It wasn't like a rule to have a requirement to have body cams. Apparently, the whole Jacob Blake situation changed that, and now they have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I even missed a comment from Angel. Surprised all are not robbing stores and burning them down. Oh, that's tomorrow night. Kyle be there. Excused to steal. They need to be disposed of.
I can't really agree with that kind of sentiment.
Yeah.
That's.
I'm here for conversation. I don't mind if we have different opinions. Yeah. I don't have to respect your opinion. So there's that.
Remember,
I didn't.
Yeah, just because you have an opinion doesn't mean people have to agree with you.
Right.
Because after all, you're disagreeing with our opinion.
So, wow, that's crazy. This comment came through on StreamYard, but like it's not in the YouTube chat.
It looks like it's a YouTube one.
I guess YouTube.
I bet it's still up StreamYard. I bet YouTube deleted it.
Yeah, YouTube did.
Yeah,
because it's very R word.
Yeah.
Reality. This is everybody doesn't like reality.
Well, it's a different R word I was thinking about.
No. I know what you're saying, but I just said.
Why was everyone burning down Kenosha? Did they not like what happened to Smith? Well, they were burnt. The whole thing about Kenosha kicked off because of Jacob Blake.
Yeah, and a lot of those protests from last year too. A lot of people came from other states. A lot of those in quote, I'm using finger quotes, protesters. They were brought in from other states to be there.
Agitators.
Yeah.
Programmed agitators. They follow whatever political narrative comes in their Twitter inbox.
Although, like NBC was calling Gage a wounded paramedic when he had already lost his license to being a felon, being a paramedic.
He lost his license to carry a gun, and he still had one, and that doesn't make you.
If his forearm didn't lock up and grab that gun, they would have never found that gun.
Yeah, because it would have been taken away, like all the other weapons that were taken away that night. How many shooting? While they were questioning Kyle, 8 more bullets had been fired, according to the and they were never followed up on. You know, the sensors they put around cities. Why do you have sensors for to measure gunshots if you're never going to track them down?
John was talking about people were not happy with fighting the Blake. A lot of it was manufactured outrage too. as soon as the shooting happens anymore, if a cop has a shooting like that, it is in national news and
I was going
push.
to say programmed outrage. They just follow whatever narrative is in their inbox.
And if the shooting happens the other way, if it's a officer of color and shoots, it's sadly to say, if it's an officer of color and person of interest of color, it don't make the news. Well, look how much shootings happen in Michigan. All the time.
We'd play the Cleveland Brown segment. You're not allowed to do that on YouTube anymore. You know, the one on how to get rid of the media?
Oh yeah. Cleveland Brown. Shot a fellow.
I shot I'm the Cleveland Brown. I'm the shooter. Yeah.
Cleveland Brown. I fully admit I am the one who shot him.
Boop. There goes all the media. And there comes your YouTube strike. And he said, they're sitting on this, their fingers on the button. Say it.
My name is Cleveland Brown. I'm proud to say.
Oh, what do you guys think? Do you think jury deliberation is going to go on for much longer?
With what I've heard, just about what it says, it sounds like it's going to be a hung jury. You guys are extremists that's like taking charge of the jury.
Now, I don't know exactly what the legal ramifications are, but one juror asked permission to take the jury instructions home to study overnight. Now, I'm not sure if they're actually supposed to leave the court with that or not, because the jury instructions depend on the judge.
Well, they're the same. It looks sounds like it's the same jury person too. Member 2 is being bossy to the court. That's very Karenish. So the terminology, the writing and terminology they're using, it sounds like someone who that bosses people around a lot.
See, it depends on the state, but each state has actually general instructions.
And they're using the exact same terminology when they describe stuff too that Binger uses.
Yeah. Jury instructions can include general instructions like how, follow this. This is your, these are your breaks, etc., your schedules, expected how long, and your compensation. Instructions will include things like definitions of different crimes.
If it was going to be a acquittal, it already happened by now.
Yeah,
it's going to be a hung jury.
If it was going to be either way, it would have been done within 24 hours.
Yeah. It's possible it ended up being a mistrial hopefully with prejudice. That means
now
it can't be retried.
Some states actually have jury instructions online. Those are what's only available
jury
online.
Selection by bingo. That was weird. The bingo Tumblr.
That actually happened in some states.
Oh, but that was so weird.
Yeah. Everybody would get a bingo ball, and then they would just whoever got bingo first,
drawing the name out of a tumbler. Like that's your jury.
Yeah. Everybody had their name on the bingo ball and tumble around. Yeah. But the whole idea of the jury was that not to engage in legal discussion, but to actually explain in plain language why a certain action is or is not a crime. Now, the problem is that the law has become so complicated. Like, there's so many if, buts, ands, maybes, if under these circumstances, that it's just insane. And we wouldn't have this mess if people understood common sense and said, geez, I think liberalism is a dumb idea. We should not have rules for everything. Exact rules. Could you imagine going through your life where you've got to go through a rule book every time? Oh, I'm going to cross the street. You have to do this, look this way, look that way, look this way. You have to walk at this rate across the street.
Yeah,
Are your clothes?
Cara does have a point, though. She thought it was strange too, but it does eliminate preferential selection towards one side to the other.
Bingo jury. Yeah, the whole point of original jury selection was to make sure that both sides would make sure that neither one had bias.
Right, and apparently the judge answered that and said that that's something that he did in his court for like a long time. So
he's always said that he prefers jury trials.
I thought it was strange too.
Yeah. I think that's the reason why he's just not dismissed the case with through mistrial yet, because
if he does,
he wants the jury to try to come to the conclusion.
Yeah, because he's a jurist, and he's angling for the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Because
it kind of shows too the mentality that nobody thinks Kyle's a threat when he's in that kind of proximity to the judge all the time.
There's a meme where
they're playing video games.
Huh? Yeah, they're playing video games.
Yeah,
there's also another meme
Call of Duty
where they're sitting next to each other watching a selection of video, and it says if Kyle was as violent of a person as everybody claims he is, that he wouldn't be that close to the judge unhandcuffed.
Well, Robert Barnes, he was talking about he was the thing where people were wondering about why Kyle keeps going through that door. Well, he's going through there. That's how they're getting Kyle in and out of the courthouse. They're going through the judge's chambers.
They're following.
So the judge is actually letting him use the private entrance and stuff to get Kyle in and out safely.
And he actually has, and he can't be allowed. He cannot be allowed near the jury during breaks, etc. So he's actually in the private chambers to be away from the jury. It's a small courthouse.
It's sad too when the judge has a patriotic ringtone, then they automatically think he's a racist.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of America. If you're patriotic, they think you're a racist.
Well, like I said, there's only two ways it's going to end. Either you allow liberals to go their own way and take half the country over and have their dictatorship, but they will want to run in your areas still. You know what I mean?
This game kind of reminds me of an old Hulk game. Had like an open source map. That beach area there.
Yeah.
I remember fighting some baddies on that beach area. It seems like catchphrase.
But I mean, liberals used to actually be in the favor of, they used to be the ones screaming out, "Don't judge," let the trial play out, let all the facts play out. Oh, but then lawyers couldn't win cases. So they came up with this whole idea. It's not an English accent, it's an Australian accent.
He's a resident Aussie.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I don't like the fact, but I hate the fact that like everybody they want to leave out they try to say everybody on one side hates immigrants. Nobody's saying that.
Yeah.
They just leave the qualifier off that the only people have problems with people breaking the law to come in here illegally. They want to paint a big paintbrush and paint oh, you just don't like immigrants at all because you're an R word.
A lot of the people I work with are immigrants, and they are very much against those who break the law and come over here.
A lot of them are, because they jumped through all the hoops, did everything they were supposed to do, and did it properly, and everybody's jumping the line.
The thing is, most illegals have a criminal record.
And I hate to break the entire argument when they call it, like, say everybody hates immigrants. We are immigrants. Most of us
All of you,
country,
including
our ancestors, are immigrants.
So are the so-called natives. They didn't originate in America either.
Yeah,
they
came over during the Ice Age over the land bridge. Human
Yeah,
beings did not evolve on the North American continent. The North and South American continents did not have human beings. They came over across the land bridge.
Yeah, the Incas are descendants of Polynesians. The Inuits are descendants of Siberians. Most of Mexico are Spanish. Not they don't even have an ounce of Indian in them.
When the Spanish came to South America, they waged war and conquered most of them. A lot of descendants in Mexico, a good chunk of their heritage is
Spanish. Yeah.
Spanish and French. Well, a lot of them were killed off by just diseases too, because when the Spaniards came, they brought in a lot of diseases that the South Americans didn't have, so a lot of them just wiped out from
these lefties keep going on how they deliberately introduced smallpox. Really? Then why don't you say the Arabs deliberately introduced smallpox? Because it didn't originate in Europe either.
There's no question that the U.S. government did treat the Native Americans very shitty.
Oh no, there's no doubt. One thing
they broke every treaty they ever had with the Native Americans.
That is one thing that is definitely without dispute. Well, I don't think many people dispute the fact that General Custer sat down with Sitting Bull and said, "I'm trying to work things out with you," and he says, "No, I can't trust you. You've broken every promise you've made." And he says, "No, every promise I made to you, I kept." And he says, "Yeah, but you work for the guy in the white cloud. They didn't call it the White House. They call it the he's the guy. He's can't trust you." And that is something that has not occurred solely in America. It's been throughout history. The trail is so common.
When the government starts talking about taking your weapons, look how that worked out for the Native Americans.
Exactly. Wasn't just it was the very Revolutionary Party that used to be adamant about gun ownership turned around and said to Native Americans, "Oh no, that's not for you." But it's been around the world.
I found it interesting too. I was watching one of the gun channels I watch.
Yeah.
And YouTube has changed it where they're not allowed to use they got to use, if they're using a rifle, the magazine has to be less than 20 rounds or less. They can't use 30-round magazines in their videos anymore, or they'll demonetize them.
Even though they're still legal.
Even though it's not illegal to have a 30-round magazine, but they will demonetize your channel.
It's a private company. We can do what we want.
And these guys with these channels too, they have a license for full auto. One of them would do like full auto Fridays, and he can't do that no more. They'll demonetize his channel.
When Tommy
over 1 million subscribers.
When Tommy was when we were filming all the pumpkin stuff, Tommy couldn't put the actual video of like us shooting the pumpkins Like he just had to crop out part of the video and just see the pumpkins like exploding.
That is so sad.
Yeah, because I had a 30-round mag and it was
Oops.
the AR.
Oopsies.
You have to buy little baby magazines to show them. You have to tell them that's a baby magazine.
Yeah, but that means I gotta buy a 10-round mag.
Just to show YouTube that you got a tiny mag. They're the ones who got tiny mag.
Yeah. We can go to tiny mag. What you talking about? Oh.
But see, they'd love to pretend the natives were babes in the woods. When they all forget that not long after was it Jamestown or
the missing settlement?
Yeah, I think it was when they traded guns to the Indians, and the Indians turned around and used all the guns on them. It was in the 60s.
Didn't they use them on themselves?
They said that the natives said they shot themselves. Yeah, they traded guns to the natives, and a couple of months later, everybody in the town was dead. All their food,
this right here is a big problem.
Were missing. Yeah,
Roanoke Colony. That's the missing colony.
Our freedom's the biggest problem. Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to take our freedoms. They're so mad about it.
See, the problem is that the left believe that we're too immature to make decisions for ourselves because it ends up in inequality, violence, injustice. But their pursuit will only enable criminals even greater power. See, if criminals can't be criminals, what do? They join the government, rise the ranks to the positions of power where they can pretty much control the levers of power and keep themselves out of prison. Or worse, they find excuses to enact injustices on people. Yeah, native massacres, yeah. There's another thing too.
Anna Hutchinson, she was massacred by a native in Long Island, New York. She was exiled from Massachusetts for hosting Bible study. True patriot, right there. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I'm sorry to hear about that. That sucks, though.
Yeah.
Well,
the Bible study stuff was cool.
The Bible hosting Bible studies. That's
big cool. Big,
patriot,
yeah, big true patriot.
Massacred. That sucks.
Yeah, that's the suck part.
There's been claimed that some video games nurture and produce the lust for violence among certain youth. I could see that if certain situations.
It's also shown by psychologists that actually violent video games, just like sports, reduce violence because
it's an outlet.
It's an outlet for anger and frustration. And I'm not claiming this, and psychiatrists are, and I know psychiatrists because my sister is studying to be one.
In certain mindsets, people I could see it could actually, if people have, it would take someone with a mental issues to actually see video games as being closer to reality to actually drive their lust for violence.
It's not just the lust for violence.
There's got to be there already pre-existing for that to happen.
Yeah. And it comes down to nature versus nurture. Were they born violent or made violent?
It goes through the thing, too, like where majority of people can distinguish between reality and fiction. When they start using the video game as an excuse, they did the same thing back in the comics back in the day. That's what happened with the comic book authority stuff. They're saying these comic books are going to corrupt our children. It's the same argument they use with the modern video games.
Yeah. Instability, yeah. Sexual in nature.
Nobody can answer that question because nobody will be honest, John, to be frank, because psychologists have tried to study human behavior and they keep coming up with different answers. So nobody has a conclusive understanding of human behavior. No, because people can't be honest. You can't ask somebody of why they like something and get an explanation of why they like it. Why do some people prefer chocolate? Why do some people like vanilla? Why do some people get aroused by the smell of roses? That's I watched a channel that used to produce videos on different serial killers, and they had interviews. And the most common thing with most serial killers are they didn't know why.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally agree with this. We have to be the first to educate our children at home before blaming video games.
Totally.
Yeah. If we're not gonna take responsibility for raising our next generation, we can't blame other people.
Well, with John's other question with the nature versus nurture phenomenon thing, it's like the honesty thing too is it's not like the difference when you ask somebody do you like root beer or not? I could flat out say I hate root beer, but I couldn't. I'll be honest about that. You have to be able to ask a question people will be honest about.
You hate root beer?
Oh, I can't stand root beer.
It's so good.
Well, I'm going. I'll talk to you all later.
That's it. You're all dead to me. You hate root beer. You're all dead to me.
God,
you are canceled. I will tackle the open this winter down. The men's room supports drinking root beer.
I'm going to take a page out of the quartering. My channel is under attack.
But I don't hate nobody. I don't discourage anybody who likes root beer. I just don't like it. Ooh.
I hate everyone who doesn't like root beer.
Just a good old boys. If you see a ramp like that, you got to start playing with some Waylon Jennings.
I let somebody just rear-ended the crap out of me. Come on, man. There you are. I was waiting for you. Especially my El Camino.
Business up front, party in the back.
Yeah, buddy.
The mullet of cars.
Oh, I almost forgot. Remember we were talking before about electric vehicles way back?
Yeah.
I think so.
You remember California, the reason why they got so many problems right now is because they banned all these trucks over 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Joe, the other day, he went out and said, look, I got an electric truck. And everybody said, wow, electric truck, that'd be great. And he gets an electric Humvee. Yeah, oh, it's got a little pickup tray in the back, and I'm thinking, wow, I'd love to see you try and haul a container in that.
Physics.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I'll be right back.
You be right back.
I'm not against electric vehicles. I was actually involved in the design of some electric vehicles. university. My father was a mechanical engineer. And there were just so many problems with electric motors, trying to come up with a gearbox to protect electric motors from the torque, because they just weren't strong enough to overcome it. Yeah, people don't understand. Yeah, I mean, Tesla may have a lot of problems with their electric vehicles, but they're still way ahead of anything anybody else has come out with. Don't forget, some of the electric vehicles couldn't even go over 30 kilometers an hour if they had more than 2 passengers, because the motor would start to strain. And it's not just, see, people don't understand. Petroleum is not a fossil fuel. It's a result of the degradation of plant and animal fats by bacteria. It's just that we use it at a rate of tens of thousands of liters per day, when there's only a few thousand liters per month of the product being manufactured by nature. And it wasn't until recently the government even allowed teaching of the methane cycle in high school. I did chemistry, so I know a little bit about the methane cycle. But I think if more people understood it, that petroleum is a natural product of that back in the 1800s, there were swamps all over the US full of tar. And the stench of pitch in some towns was so bad that people would move away because of the gas. Yeah, that's another trouble too. That problem is actually a problem with the light grease that they use inside electric motors to enable them to spin faster. The grease freezes, and that stops the what's it called?
What's the code? The code makes batteries discharge quicker too.
That's it too. It alters the conductivity of the regulator in the electric motor, and it actually takes more energy to spin, and the electric battery puts out takes more drain to drain them.
There is more economical impact of manufacturing a electric car than owning a gas powered car for a lifetime.
Yeah, the manufacturer of windmills takes more energy than they produce.
Well, electric car too. You got lithium mining, very harmful to the environment. And
lithium is a toxic.
A lot of lithium mines are not mined by willing participants.
Because the owners of the mines are Chinese, they're not overlords because they're not white slavers. Isn't that so progressive?
I was avoiding using. I'm trying to watch my terminology right now. I messed up already at the beginning of the stream. My mind's been fuzzy. A lot of stuff going on.
But I was trying to think. The energy coefficient drops as the temperature drops.
And how do you charge them batteries?
How do you charge the batteries? Yeah,
for the electric cars.
But lithium is a toxic substance. It oxidizes in the air, and oxidized lithium is toxic to humans.
Until you have power plants that's economical power plants, or some way like, how do you charge them batteries with oil and coal power plants? And it's all good in theory, too, when you live in the city about having electric cars. Rural America, it don't work.
That's right. They harvest. That's right. They pour acid into the lithium, and then they barrel it. That's how they ship lithium. They turn it into a salt solution, so that it's easier to transport, because they use its acidic form in the battery. Oh yeah, they waste billions of tons of water every year on lithium mines, and it pollutes the ocean. They reckon that the fish in the South China Sea will be dead by 2030.
And good luck if you're in an accident, you rupture your battery too. They're pretty tough, but they still can rupture. Richard Hammond, that supercar he wrecked, that thing burned for 2 days.
Lithium battery fires, yeah.
He was a company had a supercar, like him using it for one of the Top Gear things. He wrecked it and it ruptured the battery. The car burned for 2 days.
Dang. I didn't know that.
If you overcharge them, they can explode. Do not expose lithium to water.
Yep.
Lithium fires are worse than a regular fire because lithium hydroxide will kill you. It has to be put out by a special carbon dioxide extinguisher.
Sorry, Emma, we've moved on past that.
Yeah, somebody's late to the party. Kyle did pull the trigger 3 times.
Yeah. But
I'm sure we're going to get a downvote from you too. Oh no. What will we ever do?
Oh no, somebody doesn't.
Well, it's pretty much been scrubbed. I think I mentioned it before. It's been scrubbed from the internet. The best thing that you could do is liquid hydrogen conversions to internal combustion engines.
Yep.
The only thing you can find nowadays is crackpots. But Carroll Shelby, before he was dying, he was working on developing systems for that. He actually has like the world record, Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
For a hydrogen-powered car. Top speed.
I love all these people who turn around.
Internal combustion, like a regular gas-powered car, run on liquid hydrogen, and the exhaust is water vapor. You can't get no cleaner.
I love all these people who say electric cars is modern technology. Really?
One of the very first vehicles was an electric car.
They first appeared in the first, one of the first vehicles appeared in the mid-19th century was an electric car. They held the land speed record until 1900. It was beaten because it was consistently beaten by electric engines. Electric engines were consistently beaten by diesel. They used diesel long before they used petroleum.
Hey, David.
Car, it's even hard to find a story about Carroll Shelby, and he's one of the biggest names in auto racing. And it's hard to find stories about that car.
Chloride to carbonate?
If they can scrub Carroll Shelby out of history, they can scrub anything out.
Yeah. It's a substitution reaction by putting chalk into the reaction. It's called a substitution reaction. You put them in the solution. You put the carbon chloride into a solution, and then you add chalk, and you distill it. And you have a calcium carbonate. You introduce carbonate to create a carbonate reaction. No, it's silly. Chemistry is so weird.
I think we got a spammer.
Yeah.
What?
Damn it! Somebody open YouTube.
Yeah, because it's not showing up on the actual YouTube chat. It's coming up on the StreamYards.
Yeah. Looks like YouTube's already yanked it.
Yep.
Thank you, StreamYard.
What in the world? People on YouTube were like, what in the world are they talking about? Oh, no. There is some of it got through. Radlord. Now he's actually spamming the chat. Something he said isn't picking up.
You have to block him.
I put him in timeout.
Yeah.
We'll see if he comes back.
Does it say lithium chloride to lithium carbonate? You add carbolic acid into the solution. You have to actually be careful of the hydrogen buildup with carbonate reactions, because the hydrogen gas can ignite in the presence of oxygen, even in solution. I think they use a platinum converter, a special tower, which they trickle the solutions through, and spins around the inside, and they mix and try to separate out using temperature. Yeah, there's your lithium battery fuel. Yeah. I think they use a... it looks like a muffler. They pump it through, and it goes through in its own... and the chemicals' own temperatures keep them separate, one above, one below, in the solution. So the oxygen... hydrogen gas... the hydrogen gas buildup is always the problem in chemistry. Do they use lithium carbonate?
This is so funny. I can't help but do this.
Yeah. Yeah, lithium carbonate used for mood stabilizers. It's also used as a catalyst in many reactions. Its most common use is glaze. High tensile to make your tiles stronger. Yeah, magnesium carbonate. And some is extracted by electrodialysis from seawater, but it's not commercially viable because of the high price of electricity. Yeah, they actually mix lithium carbonate into the glaze on the ceramic tile. Create a... it's commonly used actually in tank armor between sheets of composite materials. They use the iodized ceramic as a buffer.
I didn't realize I was muted.
And they used the glaze to glue it together.
You're talking to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
She's self-muted.
I pulled up the stream so I could on YouTube, and I wanted to mute myself, but I pulled it up to mute the stream so I can see what's going through on YouTube. I forgot to unmute myself, so I was just having a conversation by myself.
Nice.
I was like, well, Dave's being rude. Well, hey, let me talk.
I thought Tommy was going to come back.
I thought you were on Be Right Back. I thought you were still on the loo.
But I was going to say there's a segue when you mentioned the tank. This weekend, I'm going to get to see meet Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, see the.
Listen up, maggots.
Because of the radioactive nature of uranium, even when it's at low concentration in what's so-called depleted uranium, they put it between sheets of aluminum and buffered the radiation with ceramics. And to glue it together, they used the glaze with lithium carbonate mixed in with the regular glue to actually glue the composite sheets together on your Abrams. And the Army's demand of lithium was so high that it actually tripled the price overnight.
Also get the guy that did the voice of Destro on the G.I. Joe cartoon. He's going to be there. The original Bumblebee. Who else? Shredder from the TNT Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the live action, the first one. The guy who was Shredder. He's going to be there.
Oh, cool.
I was hoping my Action Force Sergeant Slaughter figure was going to be in. I was so good at signed, but it never come in. My buddy I'm going with, he ended up getting the SDC exclusive Slaughter. He's going to get it signed.
You got a GoPro or something, or you just going to report on it later?
I'm going to take my phone and I got a handheld.
Oh, yeah, take your phone, yeah. Handheld, yeah.
So I was going to. Pixel Dan's going to be there too, one of the big toy guys.
You guys hear about the Astro World lost situation where that Travis Scott guy got like a bunch of people killed, or not got a bunch of people killed, but
the trampling thing?
Yeah, trampling. Apparently there's a $2 billion lawsuit.
Well,
whoa.
Something he was encouraging for people to like.
It's Travis Scott, Drake, Apple, and Live Nation.
They're suing his sponsors as well, saying that he is a history and they encourage his outlandish behavior.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm trying to do one quick sweep of the news.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about the lawsuit, but the news has been dominated by almost everybody exclusively talking about Kyle.
Should never allow general admission in a concert. What do you mean? General admission's usually. What do you mean, general admission?
Apparently, they stopped asking for tickets and they just said, "Come in."
General admission was $400 a head. What?
And then all of a sudden, he had people charging.
Crazy.
Yeah, $400 a head.
Holy crap!
I don't like anybody enough to spend $400 to go see them.
No.
Yeah, you see, unless you're within $400, unless you're within 6 feet of the guy, you couldn't tell if it was the real thing or not.
Oh, did you guys see where some social media thing for Binger was released and his email was put out there?
Whose email?
Yeah, Thomas Binger.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you can't say it on YouTube. You cannot say his email on YouTube. Yeah, they ding you.
Oh, really?
Dude, some people got dinged.
I was about to say something.
Because the pornographic nature of the language and the connotations.
Oh, wow.
Well, a lot of attorneys were talking about it's weird that the prosecution is using their personal computers and emails to do stuff.
Yeah, well, the defense wants to know why the prosecution is using his personal email and not his professional.
Yeah,
his office email.
Weird.
So you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should not do that.
You should not email him at that.
Yeah, we should not say that word aloud because of what.
Dang on Yahoo.
Because if you look it up, it's yeah.
You know what I haven't had in a long time? The Yoo-hoo.
That would be good.
Do they still make Yoo-hoo?
Huh?
Do they still make Yoo-hoo?
Yeah.
I know what it is. He's not a prosecutor. He's a guy who's very good at giving people a hand. He's a very handy guy to have around.
That's his contact. That's contact for his OnlyFans.
Yes.
Oh God.
No, only hands. His only hands account.
He must be a big Mark Wahlberg fan.
Yeah, he's a Wahlberg fan. Yes. Yeah, he probably no. Mark Wahlberg is probably a big fan of his. Mark just sits back and says, "Oh, fluffer, Mr. Handy, Handy."
And apparently, he lives with somebody that's not his wife.
I thought he said he had a wife.
Yeah. He lives, let's see, he's been living at least small lengths of time at his best friend, Kenosha Judge Chad Kirkman.
Oh, well.
They live together.
No conflicts of interest there.
Awkward.
Well, he said since his wife has a boyfriend, he's out to get one too.
Yeah.
Dude, Kyle's face is priceless.
I can't see that.
There's another one using that same three pictures. Is like it's a little more racy.
You mean this one?
That one.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know if you was going to show that one or not.
Damn!
I'm broke. I'm broken.
No kidding. You're all going to hell, and I'm driving the bus.
Kyle's face is like,
say what?
Oh man, that's good stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna save that. I want to save it. No, don't save it. Save it. Download. I'm gonna crop that out. That's so funny. Let's see. Right,
I thought you were going to say the prosecutor says to Kyle, "Do you take requests?"
He's like, oh. Now, is that broken or what? Yeah, it really was.
Like I said, you're going to hell, and I'm driving the bus.
If you have, since you haven't seen it, you should try pulling up the Grambo testimony. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
I love all these people who say
one
Kyle
of the best
watched
ones
so
though
many
is when
Rambo movies, and I'm going, in what universe do you know what Kyle watches?
one of the best though is when it was revealed that they tried to get the witness to change his testimony. They thought so they thought he was slow. Flat out, they thought he was slow, and he's not.
Yeah, every question was leading. They just try to get him to say yes or no to everything, and it's like, nah, that's not testimony, dude.
The Kyle's defense, though, does not know how to say the word objection.
This is the best tweet I have read all day on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The house of cards isn't just falling, it's tumbling down in flames, screaming and failing, and all the clouds' faces are clowns. Yeah, I wouldn't say the defense is actually sharp either, but
they had a whole team of people that was going to help them out, and they turned down their help.
They turned down professionals.
Yeah,
who were going to. I think they want to win it on their own because they need the elevation to get out of Kenosha. I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh.
Say what? Huh? It's move over.
Is it okay if my wife has a boyfriend?
Now, see this?
Oh,
this is your next.
John.
Yeah. Hey, take care, John. I'm glad you came, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Call for Congress.
Do you remember that one night that I pranked Tommy with this one right here? I was sitting real still and just put that on. He had no idea, and I was sitting there talking. He was like, I think your screen froze." Oh, did it?
I remember that. He was freaking out. Your screen's frozen.
God, really too good?
Well, I just realized I can plug my camera in tonight.
There, I changed the direction so that way it would look toward y'all.
There you
go. You know, you can if you put whatever as your green screen, it'll fill up the whole square.
Yeah.
Because it's
only if you're on Chrome. It won't work on Firefox.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
I'm actually using my. Hello.
Hello.
I got an echo for a second. Oh. It went away just about immediately. But I got a green screen on mine. I just don't have my camera plugged in. I don't have a green screen behind me, but.
I know I don't either, but I just turned the green screen on, turn the saturation all the way up, and you can see, you can just cut yourself out of it, and it'll just be just the green screen. Glenn, why don't you hit me up with your LinkTree?
Oh.
And a private chisel, man, bizzle.
For chisel.
Faux shizzle. Copy link. Yeah, so this way you can check us all out.
Yeah, John.
Dubs.
I mean, every day.
David Applegate has a book.
Yes, I do.
CollectorExpress does cool stuff
with toys.
Yeah.
No girls, not those kind of toys.
Oh crud! Oh well, I did it anyway.
I got to put my LinkTree in.
I see that. Your non-CollectorExpress LinkTree.
Yes.
That's not CollectorExpress.
It's got collectors. It's themed CollectorExpress when you go to it.
Oh, you can't see my face. I'm like shaking my head. Hold on.
Well, you're looking at me like you're non. Well, face actually works pretty good for what you're doing.
How do I turn this off? Stop it. Oh, fade.
Can you pull off his expression?
I'm really pissed off. You think the biggest book companies in the world would have cheaper printing costs than a
Shut up.
The printing cost of the book has gone up $10.
I'm seconds away from clicking in stream, and bam, this fool shows up.
What's up?
It took you that long to get from wherever you were to home?
It took forever in there.
But you were leaving, weren't you?
No, she called and said she needed my help.
Oh, I thought you were leaving. I was like, 5 minutes, he'll be back. I'm like playing a video game. I'm like, I guess he's not. Which is crazy because Adam, like, I put it out there earlier. I was like, hey, anybody want to do a stream tonight? Adam was the first person to be like, yes. And I was like, okay, cool. Nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe the internet went down again or something.
That happens. I actually think he has problems with his wireless, probably due to.
Tommy, I knew you like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a meme. You need to see this. Hold on. Where's it at? Where you at there, meme? We had just shown it a minute ago, but since you ain't got Facebook, I figure you need to see it. Oh wait, yeah, right here. Hold on. I had to think. I was like, where did I do with it? Oh, come on, you butthole. What in the world? Tommy, what are you doing?
That ain't me.
Who was that?
Did my mic pick up some background noise or something?
A car?
Yeah, my neighbour's revving up his bike. I thought you could. Well, I thought it was.
No, dude, I was like, dang, oh man, David, you got some Fast and Furious going on over there.
That was a bike.
Yeah, my neighbor.
That was a car.
My neighbour loves to rev his bike. It's just insane. I thought I muted the mic. Sorry. I flicked it.
Face.
I flicked it. I thought it had gone up.
Okay, so is it just me, or the two prosecutors? One looks like.
One.
Now this is the one that's this.
Oh man.
Oh.
Do you see the one when Anna posted where with Officer McHottie was walking up to the stand and everybody's staring at her behind, except for a bigger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did see that one. Hey Tommy, did you know that the lead prosecutor, his email got leaked out?
What does it say?
That's his email.
You're not supposed to say it.
Yeah, we can't say it.
Yeah, don't read it out loud or they'll hit us.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's very handy at his job.
Handy.
His hands on approach to everything.
Handy. That is wow.
He strikes more than your ego.
Jesus.
Well, just to make sure nothing's just dangling in the wind.
He keeps you alert.
Oh my God, Tommy, do you have any thoughts on the situation?
when he told me that a skateboard couldn't be a weapon, I was like, "Can I test that theory on you?"
Oh, dude, I
No,
just seen a
according to
meme
the
about that.
FBI, a skateboard is a deadly weapon classified as a club. If you swing it at somebody, is a felony.
And then when he says he should just take the beating, I'm like, "Can I try that on you?"
You.
Because
Yep.
that big boy ain't gonna run too far.
Yeah.
And that one just looked like he would flare his arms while he ran.
Flail his arms. Yeah. He's got to protect his hands.
All right, so you remember the Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's like pointing?
Yeah.
All right, somebody put Kyle's face on Leonardo DiCaprio, and
Yeah.
it says, "When you find out that you can actually die from skateboard to the head," and he's sitting there like, "I can't find it to show you." But there is this.
Now, does Kyle got to stay in like a jail cell right now, or is he like with his parents?
Do what now?
Does Kyle have to stay with his parents?
He's in protective custody during the trial.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it like a jail cell or just something?
No.
No, they take him to a hotel with a detective.
Here, check this out.
We the people find Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty. The people have spoken. Kyle, you're free to go. Thank you. Hey, Kyle. Yeah? Are you forgetting something? Yeah! All I
do is win. So what do you think about the judge, honestly?
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
The one day that he was just yelling at the jury, or the prosecutor, I mean, it was it was great.
I like when he was making fun of the Chinese food or Japanese food being late because of the ships.
Yeah. He got in trouble apparently for that.
Yeah. How is that racist?
I like a judge.
But
I like the judge because you can't tell his politics. That is a good judge.
Well, the judge just said before the Asian food gets cold, it's like, it's not even really a joke.
Yeah.
It's just where the Asian food gets. People, plus, you have to think too. They're making the assumption it's Chinese food or Japanese food.
Could be Thai.
Could be Thai. Could be Indian. There's a lot of countries in. There's a lot of countries in Asia.
Rittenhouse gets cleared of all charges. About to exit the courtroom. Judge yells from behind, "Hey kid!" Rittenhouse turns around. "You forgot this." Tosses him his AR-15. Credits rolled out of Tiger Place.
Well, technically, it's his friends. They are.
Well, he paid for it. It could technically be a trust, according to Rakita law. You want to put your finger on the trigger while you're pointing it at someone. Yes, just like that. Now point at the jury.
Thank you, Alex.
You can almost, like he was threatening the jury, you need to make sure he's guilty.
That's going to be the next big trial. I think they'll want to clear.
It's going to be huge.
You know what I love, though? Is when someone picks up a gun that has never held a gun, you can clearly tell they've never held a gun.
Right.
By the way, they fail to shoulder it right? Or the way they keep the finger on the trigger?
You don't put your finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing.
Well, tomorrow night we will be live. I have got to go to bed because I am just beat. This was only supposed to be like a 2-hour stream, but we have just rolled and rolled and rolled. Had a great night.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for participating in the chat.
Yeah. John,
what's y'all's prediction? Do you think he's going to get? Now I know what y'all want, but what do y'all predict is going to happen?
I think it'll be a hung jury.
Yeah.
I think the jury said
if they were going by evidence alone and not have preconceived notions, it'd be a hung jury.
Now
acquittal. It would be acquittal, but it's going to be a hung jury.
Yeah. I think on the outside they may go prosecutorial misconduct, and they can't retry the case.
Yeah. Kara Hadfield, thanks for coming. We go live randomly, but most of the time we're live on Friday nights. So you can come hang out anytime. But everybody else, take care. Check out everybody's links. They're in the description. And always don't forget,
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is